Hi, everyone. So glad you can be here tonight. Today, our coaching call is on how to deal with cravings. And I thought it would be a really good topic since this time of year and it can be stressful, or we can be going back to parents' homes or a home with friend where you may have some memories and things like that that could cause you to have certain kind of cravings or even to stress a little bit in this situation, and that could cause stress eating as well. So I thought this topic was very relevant for this time of year. And so we have a lot of content to cover tonight. So I'm going to just jump right in and get started. So the first screen, I feel like oh, hold on. I need to let me share my screen so you can see what I see. Uh, I feel like this first screen, a new mindset with new results, could actually be the entire presentation. Hold on just a second. Let me see what's going on. Oh, so um, but then I am going to have other information, and some of it reflects back to this. But let's say you're visiting friends or family during the holiday season, and you're back to see parents, relatives, maybe friends that don't necessarily coincide with your new healthy lifestyle habits. And that can cause cravings, maybe old traditional food that maybe you've had in the past, or it can cause you to have stress. And sometimes stress can cause us to have cravings or eat the wrong things. So we have you covered tonight and how we're going to deal with it and get through this holiday season. And it'll be tips that you can incorporate into your everyday life that you can use throughout the year as well. So, stress eating on unhealthy food in the house, you can have a healthier mindset towards it, but you have to be able to make it work in that situation. So, just because I have a healthier mindset doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to be able to make it work in that situation. So, that's what we're going to talk about now. Let me scroll down a little bit. So I don't know about you, but every time I tell myself that I can't have something, sometimes it makes me want it more. So just hides there in the back of my mind, and it keeps coming up and coming up. So when you give into the emotion of, I want it, so I have to have it, it can make you feel powerless at times, right? Then the mindset of, I can't control myself around these foods, I can't trust myself around these foods, I can't control myself in this environment could take over. And that's giving your power away. That gives your power away to the environment or the food. So the best way to take power back is to tell yourself, well, I can have that glass of wine, or I can have some vegan ice cream or that piece of vegan chocolate if I want to, but I need to make it fit into my calories for the day. And though that may not be optimal to have those things, but you could have it and then remain on track if you fit that into your calories for the day. But let's talk about what to do before you indulge in those things. To have the power and a healthier mindset toward food, you need to pause and take action. So when the craving comes up, you need to pause and realize. But sometimes, if you only pause, you're not getting yourself out of that environment. You're not taking yourself away from the food. And that's what's going to make the change. So, uh, go do something. So, do a pause and then take action. Maybe go for a 15-minute walk so that when you return, you're actually making a conscious decision about the food. You've had time to think about it. You're not simply giving in at the first warning or craving that you have. So, you're given the opportunity to change your mind and the environment when you go out on that walk. You're taking the emotion out of your decision, and you still have the power because you can choose to have it or not have it. If you have it, you're going to make it fit into your daily requirement. And if you decide to do it and you're making a conscious decision about it, then you're less likely to beat yourself up over it. So when we make a conscious decision about the food, we're building up our willpower over time. So it's just like you're working in that muscle of willpower, and it's growing stronger and stronger each time you go through an event like this. So you can think of it like, when you first started doing squats, maybe your squat wasn't that strong, but by the time you reached your 1000th squat, you're pretty strong, right? And so it's the same thing. It's just growing and strengthening your ability to make those decisions. When you divert your attention away and return, maybe you will say, okay, I won't have it today, but maybe I'll have it tomorrow. And if you choose to eat it tomorrow, then you can plan it in your day and plan it with your calories. Um, I'm still on. The first slide is really long. Like I have a lot to say about it. I was said I could make this the entire presentation. Um, so yes, there's a lot of information for new mindset and new results. Um, so if you did choose to eat it, however, and it didn't fit into your plan, and you call me or text me or call or text your coach, you know what we're going to say? Win the next meal. And that's what you need to do. Like you need to put it behind you, get over it, move on, and be successful at the next meal. So don't let this totally, train wreck your day so that you're just off track and then you throw it, throw in the towel and eat whatever and however much you want. No. So you gave in, it's okay, get back on track and win the next meal. And if you're ever having an issue like this, that's we want you to understand that that's what we're here for. So a lot of people can write a nutrition plan. A lot of people can write a fitness plan, but we're here for much more than that. Like you're paying for more than that. You're paying for our support and the education that we have because we've been there, done that, gone through all of this, and we are want to support you and have your back. Because most of the people in this program, we're the people that others come to for support. And so many of us in this program do not have that support ourselves. And we talked about that last week a little bit. So I just want to emphasize that, we are here to support you and help you be successful. So um, when you are struggling with something, please reach out to us because I don't know and I can't help you if I don't know that you're struggling. Okay, so we want to understand our cravings. Understanding the root cause of the craving can help you address it more effectively. Cravings can stem from physical, emotional, or environmental factors. Ask yourself when you're experiencing it, are you truly hungry, or is this craving being driven by boredom, stress, or emotion? So you want to distinguish between the hunger and the cravings. A true hunger is a gradual and general feeling, while cravings are often intense and specific, like I need that chocolate now. When you feel a craving, like I said, you need to pause and assess whether you're generally hungry or you're just craving a specific taste or a texture. So pausing and taking action can help you divert your attention from that. So if it seems a little overwhelming, that's what you need to do. Pause, take action, change your environment. And something that I always told myself, and I believe that I learned this from Chef AJ, if I assess that, I think that I'm starving and really hungry, if I'm willing to eat a bowl of kale, then that means, yes, I am truly hungry and I'm trying to satisfy that hunger. And guys, let me know if you have any questions as we're going through. You can unmute and ask a question. So we want to implement mindful eating. So in order to do that, we need to slow down. We need to take time to savor every bite. Eating mindfully can help us feel more satisfied with less food and reduce the intensity of cravings. We want to eat with awareness. And this is something that I have to work on personally myself too. Focus on eating when I'm hungry and try to tune in to my body's hunger signals rather than eating out of habit or emotion. But when I say eating with awareness, something that I do too is I sometimes I can try to like work through lunch and eat at the same time. And so therefore I'm not doing the things that we talked about to slow down and savor each bite. I'm rushing through and therefore my brain is not signaling me that I'm full or that I've had enough. So that's why we need to, be mindful. That's what being implement mindful eating is. And then before you indulge in a craving, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, am I really hungry or am I eating out of stress or boredom? And I can add procrastination on there too, because sometimes that can be my thing that when I'm procrastinating on doing something difficult, I'll find myself wandering around in the kitchen. But now, I have that awareness. And so I've been exercising that muscle so that, I can say, oh, I know what you're doing, Kelly. No, we're not going there. You're not really hungry. So we all have those little triggers and things, and it's just figuring it out, pausing, taking action, and growing stronger each time it happens. Next, we want to stay hydrated. And why is that so important? Dehydration can sometimes feel like hunger. If you're craving something, first try drinking a glass of water and waiting for 10 or 15 minutes and see if the craving fades. If you're not really big on water, you can try flavored water or herbal tea. You can just infuse it with different fruits or herbs, and that's really good. Like if you put, some lemon slices or lime slices, strawberries, a little bit of watermelon, it really changes the taste, and it is good. So staying hydrated also helps your body function normally as it should. So drinking our water, staying hydrated is also a very important part of your diet. How are we doing on time? Okay. So, another important part of this whole program is to plan your meals and plan your snacks. So, you want to plan ahead to help you stay on track. Regular meals or having a consistent meal schedule can keep your blood sugar stable, which reduces the likelihood of experiencing intense cravings. Try not to wait until you feel like you're just absolutely starving to eat, because then it will cause you sometimes to overeat or eat foods that you normally may not indulge in. So you're just so hungry, you're grabbing for whatever's convenient or handy. And if you've really planned and meal prepped and you know ahead of time, just a basic idea of some healthy things that you can have that can help, not do those things like to overeat because you just got to the point that you're starving or grabbing foods that maybe are not on your plan. So you want to include lots of protein and fiber into your meals and eating protein and fiber like legumes, vegetables, and whole grains. That will help you feel fuller and reduce the likelihood of cravings. Sorry, my dog sees someone out of the window. Healthy snacks. So keep healthy snacks on hand like fruit, nuts, and hummus with vegetables, because if you're prepared, then you're less likely to reach for unhealthy options. Okay, we're going to choose healthy alternatives. Good choice at the next exit. So, sweet cravings. If you're craving something sweet, opt for natural sugar sources like fruit or maybe a small piece of dark chocolate. They're satisfying and they'll provide more nutritional value than overly processed sweets and foods. You can swap salty or crunchy snacks. So instead of having chips or salty snacks, try air popped popcorn, nuts, or veggies with a flavorful dip like a good hummus dip. And you want to replace processed junk with whole foods. So, like we said, have a whole grain cracker or a piece of fruit. Fruit or fruit is the perfect packaged snack. So it's already in its wrapper, whatever the peel may be, a banana, an orange, an apple. and you don't have to do anything to it. It's transportable and ready to go. So fruit is always a good option. Okay, so we want to manage stress and emotions because we all know that when we get really stressed out or we're very emotional about things, that can also cause us to eat and have cravings. So, if your cravings are emotional, like stress or boredom, try replacing food with activities that will soothe or distract you, such as taking a short walk. I love to go for a walk outside. Just to walk around the block can completely change my mindset. Practice deep breathing exercises. We've talked about that before in some of the past calls. Do some meditation or do some journaling. Um, you want to engage in stress reducing activities. Did you know that exercise can actually reduce your stress? So not only does it reduce stress, can boost your mood and it regulates hunger hormones, all of which can help you keep your cravings under control and in check. Okay. Do you like my little kitty? So, also getting enough sleep is very important as well. And we've talked about this quite a bit on our group calls. So, poor sleep disrupts hunger hormones. It leads to increased cravings. I don't know if you've ever found that when you're like lacking in sleep. I don't know. I crave like either really sweet things or starchy things, but especially you have increased cravings for high calorie food. You need to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night to help regulate your appetite. And did you know that the reason that you crave those foods is your body has no energy because you didn't get the rest and the sleep that you need? So your body is looking for a quick burst of energy. That's why you're craving those high calorie foods. I thought that was very interesting. Um, you want to create a relaxing bedtime routine. And if you do this routine each night, it helps get you in that relaxed state. So your mind, your brain, your body knows what's coming because it's gone through this routine every night. So try to unwind before bed with a calming activity like reading, stretching, or listening to soothing music. You want to avoid caffeine or heavy meals late in the day. So, like we said last week on the call, caffeine can stay in your body for 10 to 12 hours after consuming it. So, you want to stop drinking caffeine at least 10 hours before you go to bed. And then stop eating the last 3 hours before bedtime so that your body can have enough time to digest the food. Because your body's job at night while you're sleeping is to heal itself. So it's taking care of, your sore muscles or washing your brain and things of that nature. So you want to give your body the time that it needs to recuperate and get ready for the next day instead of worrying about digesting this big heavy meal that you just ate before you go to bed. Distracting yourself. So when cravings hit, this goes along with what we talked about in the beginning to pause and take action. So try to distract yourself by engaging in an activity you enjoy, such as reading, calling a friend, or taking up a hobby like drawing or knitting. Shifting your focus will help you reduce the intensity of the craving. And then exercise. So, there we go. Physical activity, especially something you enjoy, can help you reduce cravings by regulating your blood sugar level and boosting endorphins, your feel-good hormones. Even a quick 10-minute walk or a few minutes of stretching can help your mind take your mind off cravings and reduce stress levels. And then last but not least, please learn to be kind to yourself. Don't feel guilty if you give into a craving occasionally, don't beat yourself up about it. Remember that no one is perfect and we all slip up occasionally. So show yourself some grace. We talked about last week, like, what would you say to your best friend about it? I bet you wouldn't say harsh, negative words like you might say to yourself if you gave in to the craving and you felt bad about it. So just learn to be kind to yourself, show yourself some grace. Reframe your thinking. Instead of thinking of cravings as a failure of willpower, view them as part of the natural human experience and learn from the experience. Okay, so let me stop my screen share. Okay, here. So that is what I had tonight about cravings. Like I said, I know the first slide was super long, but I feel like it's very relevant, and especially this time of year because we're all so busy and we need to take time. We need to make our health a priority. And even if you don't, meal plan everything at the beginning of the week, have in mind what you're going to do through the week so you can do some basic meal prep and know what you're going to be eating throughout the week. And so, with these tips, I hope that when you go home for the holidays, or you go out to the office party, or you go over to friends and family, that you can be prepared with the right mindset to, take that pause and take action so that you're making a conscious decision about, what you're doing with the food and the cravings that you're experiencing. So, does anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So, that's all I had for tonight. If you have any questions or need assistance with anything throughout the week, please reach out. We're here to help, like I said, and we'd love to hear from you. So, I hope everyone has a great night, and we will see you next week. Bye.